Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome to the latest episode of our entertainment show. As you know, in part 3 of our entertainment show, each week we premiere a new movie or TV series that is debuting here in Ireland and the UK, and especially here in Ireland, where Irish eyes are smiling. And up for discussion this week is a new movie called Influencer, which is out here on our cinema screens on May the 26th. Throughout Ireland, and it's a movie about a girl that goes backtracking trip to Thailand. Her boyfriend leaves her in the lurch in terms of that. She's looking to find new mates and friends, and she meets up with some girl who seems to be a pal who seems to be too good to be true. And it leads to a rocky road for the rest of the movie. I'm delighted. The movie stars Emily Tennant, who plays Madison, Sara Canning, Rory J Spicer, and our special guest this evening that plays the character CW, Cassandra Naud. And Cassandra, maybe you can elaborate a bit more on that sort of plot in terms of that team. I know I give a rough sketch of it there, but is it more a psychological thriller than what I'm letting on?
No, definitely. I think you've got the right idea here. Without giving, I don't want to give too much away because it's really easy to give away too much of the movie. But yeah, it's definitely your like a slasher thriller type of movie for sure.
And is this the sort of movie where they say you can never trust? Sometimes people can trust too much, and sometimes people can be just that bit open or that bit naive and innocent. And you get the feeling that Emily's character she's just a lovable person, and maybe her innocence and her gullibility is what's sort of taken advantage for and taken for granted, in terms of that she sees the good in everyone and can't see, from what I gather from the trailer, she can't see bad until it comes around and stares her right in the face.
Until it, yeah, even then. But yeah, I think that's kind of the idea that our co-writer director Kurt Harder was trying to get at, was the idea of like, we're so quick to trust people that look like us without like looking too deep into them. You feel safe around things that are familiar. So Emily's character Madison definitely falls into that trap when she meets me, without knowing anything about me. You know, we get really close really fast, and that gets her into trouble. So yeah.
And Cassandra, how did you land the role for the character CW? Were you scouted for this role? Were you recommended? Was it a traditional sort of talent agent manager sort of process?
No, it was not traditional in that sense. Tesh Gudakonda, who was the co-writer / producer, had seen me in a 48-hour film festival, and it was a super random, again, slasher film, I guess comedy as well. So he saw me in that and then kind of recommended me for the role. And then I had coffee with our director, and we just really jived. He needed to know if he could spend 2 months in Thailand with me, because we had never worked together before. So obviously, if you're gonna onboard a project like that, you need to, make sure that you're the right person for the role. Also, like, my character just had so many special skills. One was motorcycle. Like, I had never ever in my life gone on a motorcycle, and I told myself that I never would, unless a dream role came along, in which it did, and I had to get over that fear and hop on a bike and learn how to ride a motorcycle for the first time, which was just absolutely bonkers. So motorcycles, I learned how to drive a boat. There was a lot of like physicality to my role as well. So we chatted about that. I think he needed someone that could go with the flow, especially for this type of film. And, we're a low budget. We had a small team. So I had to be down for literally whatever. And I was. It was just such an incredible experience. So that's how I got on. I say yes to a lot. I'm a yes man for sure.
And Cassandra, did you do sort of a table? Did you do a chemistry read with Emily's character? Did you do a table read before you departed for Thailand, or was it just when you arrived in Thailand that you met her for the first time?
No, so we had another actress originally play Madison. This was early on, and I actually don't even remember her name. But because of COVID, she couldn't make it to Thailand. And so Emily came along, and she was absolutely incredible and so nice. We're super close now. But yeah, we definitely did a table read before going to Thailand with the whole cast. And that was awesome. I knew that we were all going to get along, and it was super fun to work with all of them.
And I suppose working in an environment like Thailand, obviously you've the beaches, the countryside, the sort of terrain. Did it almost feel that you weren't done shooting? There was a bit of downtime in terms of a bit of sightseeing, a bit of R&R in terms of that. So was it almost like a vintage trip, obviously, out to the great outdoors when all the world was sort of locked down and there's sort of many rooms, scared to peep outside, dare I say, in case someone sniffled or sneezed and them in the wrong direction?
Well, that was what was so magical about the time that we were there, because it was still not locked down, but we had sandbox. So we had to stay in the island of Phuket for a certain amount of time. And then things opened up. But it was just crazy being there at that time because there were no tourists. Like there was nobody there. And I feel like the people of Thailand were just so happy to see us. And so everyone was so welcoming and just so happy. And it was incredible. But I mean, the film itself, it's like a traveling film. So we got to do a lot of sightseeing while shooting. There's a lot of like beautiful shots that showcase some of the most beautiful parts of Thailand. And so I just felt like even while we were working, it felt like a little bit of R&R for the most part. Obviously, there's some scenes that require a lot more work, but a lot of it, we have a few montages, which just are shots of Emily and I like looking at the scenery. So we got to do a lot of that whilst working on the film. There was a lot to get done. So we didn't have that much time to step away from our shoot schedule. But I mean, I do feel like I got a lot of the sightseeing whilst at work, which is just bananas to think about, working and relaxing and sightseeing.
And,
it was a very privileged.
And Cassandra, in terms of the movie itself, is it those one sort of thing that you have to say, dare I say, keep sort of on tender hooks for the first maybe 40 or 20, 45 minutes or so, or 40 minutes in terms of the plot sort of developing, in terms of getting a sense where the direction the movie is going? Is it a sort of in terms of, does it sort of start off mellow and start to get bigger and bigger and more dauntier as we go along, in terms of that, in terms of the pace, dare I say, in terms of the frantic sort of stuff?
That's a good question. I feel like it definitely starts off quite friendly, and then I don't want to give away this, but so I won't say that. Let me think before I speak. I would say it's like a gradual burn. Okay. I feel like the movie, like my character, gets a little bit more frantic throughout the film. There's definitely like a big reveal at the end, obviously, but it doesn't. The burn itself, it's quite gradual, so it's not a slow burn. I wouldn't say. No. And it keeps you hooked throughout.
And obviously the influencer, obviously it's gone global as well. It's been shown here in Ireland, the UK, been shown in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. Obviously, as an actress, you get involved in those projects. If it's a success in Canada, you're thrilled. If it's a success in the United States, even better. But when something goes international, in terms of that, there's a great sense of achievement and a pride in terms of an actor or an actress when you shoot something, a small budget cast, as you mentioned, only 5 or 6 actually on the movie itself, shot out in sort of Thailand, and maybe the 3 or 4 weeks now that you spent there, that now it's been shown in cinemas in Ireland and England and places like that. Is it mind-boggling in one sense of the word?
Yeah, I would say so. I really I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I hopped on this project, and it's just been such a whirlwind throughout the whole experience. And especially now that the movie's over, because it's been like a long process. Obviously, I was cast, and then COVID, we had to push production quite a bit. And then a year later, we were in Thailand. There was a point where we didn't even think the movie was going to happen. And then all of a sudden we were in Thailand, and we shot the film, and that was incredible, and came back, and you kind of just like, you do it and then you forget about it. And then, oh, now it's out, and just hearing some feedback. And I'm nervous for this week, because obviously it'll be out for the rest, for America and Canada and some more countries like yourselves. So I'm excited / nervous to just see how the rest of the world sees it and feels about it. But I'm so proud of Influencer. I'm so proud of our team, and I think we made something really cool. And yeah, I hope people like it.
And Cassandra Naud, you're based in Cassandra Naud. You're based there in Vancouver, Canada. We're speaking to you today, and I suppose it's a time now where everything going on in terms of the writers' strikes, and in terms of that might go on for a while. Actors and actresses probably don't know what the sort of future entails for the next 3 or 4 weeks. It might give you a chance to do a bit of R&R yourself. And is the Emerald Isle something that has been calling to you for quite some time?
Has there been something that's been calling to me for quite some time? Is that what the question was?
Yes, in terms of visiting.
Oh, you know what, though? I am headed to London in a couple weeks.
Okay.
For my very first adult vacation that doesn't require any work. And I'm very, very excited about that, because I feel like as an actor, I grew up always having FOMO, fear of missing out. And I never allowed myself to go on any trips. And when I did, well, this is why, is because every time I would plan a trip, I booked a job and I had to come back or cancel. So I'm like knocking on wood, hoping that doesn't happen. But if it does happen, I wouldn't be mad about it either. But hoping that I can actually go on vacation and explore the UK without any interruptions, which would be nice. And who knows, maybe if I've got some spare time, I'll mosey on up to Ireland, because it's right there.
Yeah,
it's so close.
Yeah, roughly an hour's flight. That's all it is from Heathrow Airport to Dublin. And yeah, Cassandra, for the final 30 seconds now, I might turn it over to you. You might enlighten all our viewers, all our listeners, why they should go out to the cinema screens next Friday night to watch yourself and Emily Tennant in Influencer, and what's in store for them.
Ooh, what's in store for them is a big surprise. You'll have to go and watch the film in order to find out. But I think you're in for a story that has lots of twists and turns, and that'll keep you sitting on the edge of your seat.
On that note, Cassandra Naud, thanks for joining us this evening to promote Influencer, which is coming out here in cinema screens in Ireland this Friday night. Cassandra Naud plays this character CW alongside Emily Tennant's character Madison, Sara Canning and Rory J Spicer as well. Director Curtis David Harder. Do check it out, Influencer, on our movie screens. But from the moment, from me, Jim Conlan, to you, Cassandra Naud, stay safe, take care, and God bless. Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you so much. Hope that I'm trying to get better at these. I get kind of awkward. My brain doesn't know what to say sometimes.
No, perfect, Cassandra. Speak to you sometimes again in the near future.
Sounds good. Thank you.